listen up, bro. To conquer yourself is the first and greatest victory. To be conquered by yourself is of all things the most shameful and vile. God damn. What a quote and what a bar from the Greek Stoic philosopher Plato himself. And funny enough, if you know anything about the Stoic philosophers and the Stoic philosophy itself, you understand how they put value into the practice of semen retention. They understood the power of actually transcending beyond your animalistic desires and using your life force energy towards higher pursuits. So without further ado, let's break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. Now, the whole premise of this video I want to emphasize is that when you practice semen retention, you will naturally build up a stoic mind. You will naturally build up a bulletproof mind that all these philosophers were talking about during their day and time. And in the modern world, this is needed more than ever because there's so many distractions, there's so many temptations, and there's so many different external stimuli that are gonna pull you away from your true purpose, that are gonna pull you away from walking the righteous path, that are gonna knock you off course and make you fall back 10 steps that you gotta come back into later. By practicing semen retention, as a man, you are conquering the quote-unquote beast of lust, which is, if we want to be honest, the most potent and the biggest obstacle or the biggest emotion or force that really knocks us off course as men. Like, let's be 100, bro. Let's keep it 100 like a Benjamin Franklin. Lust is that one emotion that can completely take control of the reins and pull you to a direction that you do not want to go. You probably understand what I'm saying. You are picking up what the fuck I'm putting down. When you get into those lustful states of mind, and deep down you know, going on these adult material sites and all that stuff is bullshit and is not going to help you on your path, it still seems that your brain gets hijacked by this emotion, by this beast of lust, and just drags you to these dark places. And you never seem that you can get a control over it, a grip over it, and actually subdue it to the point where it listens to you. When that beast or when that overall entity itself listens to you, and you say, hey man, I want to use this fucking energy, this life force energy for bigger pursuits, not just a couple seconds of pleasure. This is the Stoic philosophy boiled down into a very practical essence. When you become more quote-unquote stoic, and a lot of guys out there gravitate towards the Stoic philosophy because, in my opinion, it's very basic, it's very surface level, it's very rudimentary type of philosophy, but it's a very practical philosophy for the modern day world. When guys get into it and why they gravitate towards it is because in this philosophy, you're understanding how to master the self, master the mind, master the body, and let the soul, the spirit, take over control. Take back the reins. Because you are not letting these emotions, these external things, pull you in every direction. You stay focused on your mission as a man. You stay focused on what you can control, not letting all the other things kind of pollute your mind and be like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. You can't control that. So why the fuck are you putting your energy and attention towards it? That's what the Stoic philosophy really embodies in my eyes. And when you pair along the practice of semen retention, regardless if you know about Stoicism or not, you're going to naturally build that state of mind, build that mindset, and build that overall philosophic, if that even a word, that school of thought these philosophies were trying to preach and actually enlighten people about. Because you are now not letting the emotion of lust, which is literally like the final boss in a video game, take over control. If you can play a video game and you don't have to go through the stages of I have to be the boss at level 1, the boss at level 2, the boss at level 3, and you go straight to the top, everything else is going to be easier, right? It's like playing Call of Duty campaign on fucking expert mode. So now when you go into the other ones, it's a piece of cake. I've always been like that. I've always chose the most difficult fucking thing possible, no matter what. If I'm on a hike and I know that this is the easy path and that one's a harder one that's gonna take longer, stuff like that, I wanna do the harder one because for some reason I'm a sick, twisted sicko, a weirdo that always wants to do the most difficult thing, not because of my ego, but I just want to see, okay, if I can do this hard thing, this difficult thing, everything else is going to be easier. Even the hikes and all that shit when we go back is going to be easier. This same mindset you got to ingrain into your overall life. Choose the more difficult path. That's why even in the Stoic philosophy, they say, do not pray for an easy life, but rather pray for the shoulders strong enough to hold up the difficult one that you have right now. Like, this is stuff, these are beautiful quotes, man, that really pertain to you, to the modern day man, and has practical use cases to them. Pray for the strength, pray for the courage, pray for the information needed to actually hold on to the path that you're on that's going to be more difficult. Because the more difficult decisions that you choose right now, the easier your life is going to be later on down the line. And this whole concept revolves around every single domain in life. That's why when you practice semen retention as a man, everything else in your life seems a little bit easier, a little bit more effortless. It flows a lot more smoothly. Your social skills are easy. You don't have to think about what you're going to say to someone. You don't got to think about how you're going to approach this person. When it comes to your workouts and stuff like that, you tap into those flow states much easier. For a runner, you get into those runner highs much easier because you are now tapping into that reserve of sexual energy, of cosmic energy, life force energy, and redirecting it towards those higher pursuits. And when you do that, everything in life gets amplified, gets enhanced. Everything that you focus on gets enhanced because all the other things aren't phasing you anymore. This is what the Stoic philosophy is about. The other external stimuli is not phasing you anymore. You don't care for them. You don't think about, oh man, what if this happens? What if that happens? You're just zoned in. You get a tunnel vision. Your mind becomes unbreakable. It becomes bulletproof to the point where when life throws those curveballs at you, when the universe throws tests at you, yes, you might falter a little bit, you might like stumble a little bit, but you get on path much quicker. It doesn't knock you off the course completely to where you have to go all the way back in line and make it all the way back to the same place that you're at. Imagine you're on a big bridge with no like hand guards or anything like that. It's just one beam of wood getting you from this side of the river over to that side of the river. When you are practicing semen retention and you're building up that stoic state of mind, even if like a huge gust of wind pushes you off course, you get up from that water at the bottom of the bridge much quicker and you get back on course. And sometimes you build up such a stoic state of mind that you don't even fucking feel the wind. You just keep going. All that stuff is not even registering in your mind because you are zoned in on your mission as a man. You are zoned in on becoming the best version of yourself. You are zoned in on the path of self-mastery, mastering the mind, mastering the body, and mastering the overall spiritual nature of reality. This is why it's so important for you guys out there. This is not for everyone. I always say that this practice is not for everyone, but for the men out there who watch this channel, who watch the main channel, who are tapped into the private Patreon community. Shout out to the fucking private Patreon community. If you want access to more content like this, I'm talking exclusive content that we break down ancient texts, that we really get deep with it. You get access to our full guides, in-depth occult lectures, and of course our monthly masterminds where we get into not a philosopher circle, but a philosopher circle with a community of like-minded men who are also on this path, where we get to hop on calls 2 times a month with myself and the group, have a group chat, and just talk about these types of things and keep each other accountable when you're on this path. Because like we just said, not a lot of people are built to be on this path, and not a lot of people will actually choose to partake and embark on this righteous path. So when you surround yourself with a community of like-minded men, it just makes it much easier. It makes it much more enjoyable, and it makes it much more fruitful when you're on this path. There's no such thing as a fucking lone wolf, bro. There's no such thing as a lone wolf. Shout out to my dog right there. If you're around these communities and you're out around the mastermind, where a bunch of minds gather together and they form into one mastermind, then you tap into information you could never thought of before by yourself. So if you want access to all that good stuff, go check out the links posted in the pinned comment of this video. Within the pinned comment of this video, you'll also be able to find links to book one-on-one consultations with me. We'll hop on a call and really discuss any of the problems or situations and build out a strategy in order for you to ascend beyond that, as well as application forms to my one-on-one coaching programs. All that good stuff, again, posted in the pinned comment of this video. Free community Discord link server, free weekly newsletter, all that good stuff, man. Pinned comment of this video. But what I was saying is, for the people out there who are tapped into all these pieces of content that I'm trying to produce, that I'm trying to give out to the world, you understand, man, that you were brought here for a fucking bigger reason than just chasing lower level pleasures, than just kind of being in a state of mediocrity. You know deep down that there's something within you, deep down within your soul, that is pulling you towards a higher purpose. Yet every time you fall into degeneracy, every time you let yourself and your senses conquer you, which is the most shameful and vile thing to do, as Plato said, you lose connection to that source. You lose connection to that state of mind, that stoic state of mind that makes it bulletproof, that these external stimuli do not pull you down into your old ways or pull you down into states of degeneracy. That's not productive for your spiritual evolution. That's not productive towards achieving your purpose in life. Every time you do that, you fall further and further away from that path, that beam, to get you on over to the next stage of life, the higher realms of reality, the higher stages of consciousness, and activate your higher faculties as a man. When you start to close everything off and focus on this path, it just accelerates, man. It accelerates much quicker. Think about a car. If you're driving a supercar, but you got a bunch of just furniture and bullshit in the back seat, it's gonna slow down the car regardless, even if it's a supercar. Take all that junk out. When you take all that junk out, it might get a little bit faster, but that little bit of speed added onto it makes a big difference within the race itself, within the journey itself. Take out all that junk and put the blinders on towards your goals. Don't let the senses throw you this way, throw you that way, put you in reverse, make you go backwards. When you let the senses do that, I don't care how much money you got, I don't care how much muscles you have, I don't care how many girlfriends that you think that you can get, you are not a true fucking masculine man. A divine masculine man understands that these are vessels, these are tools to realize God, to realize a higher nature that resides within. All these philosophers knew that. They might have not kind of connected that into one religious fashion, but they understood that there was a higher source that they could connect to from within. All these different types of distractions just pull them away from that. And the more you start to uncover the layers of your true being and uncover your overall core essence, like an onion, you peel off the layers, the more you understand that once you get to the core, all the answers are there. Like I've said before, all the answers that you're looking for about where to go in life, what's the next best step, all reside within. Tools like semen retention, tools like the spiritual practices that I discuss on this channel, on the private Patreon community with the guys I work one-on-one with, consultations and all that good stuff, are just the tools, the pickaxes, the like scalpels to take off those layers to get to the core, and everything is there. Think about it like on a alchemical sense. You have people who go mine for ores, big fucking pieces of rock with a bunch of junk in it, but it's got diamonds, it's got gold in it. You got to purify it, you got to melt it down, you got to chip everything away to get to that core and get the gold. That is what you're doing within the gold of the soul, the gold of the mind. When you master it through stoicism, through spirituality, through practices like semen retention, you are mastering that. You are taking that ore that's got a bunch of junk in it, putting it into the washing machine, purifying that shit, and it's coming out radiating, illuminating. Because all the junk is not there anymore. Your mind can't be pulled in this direction of, oh man, I feel like this, that means I gotta do this. As a man, if you let your emotions dictate your actions, relax. If you let your emotions dictate your actions, you're never gonna succeed. You might have senses of success in life, whatever society tells you is a form of success, but you're never going to be truly fulfilled because you never have true control. The external world still is holding you by the fucking balls, pulling you this way, that way, boom, boom, and you're getting ragdolled around. And you might stumble across a little bit of success, but you never have a true vision, you never have a true direction in life. You might take a couple steps in the right direction, but then what happens? Oh, your emotions just pull you in another direction and you're pulled that way, pulled this way. This is not a way to live as a man. I'm not telling you to not think about your emotions, not address them. What I'm saying is don't let them dictate your actions. A man is more involved in logic. The masculine state of mind revolves around analysis, logic, rationality. That's what these philosophers, these stoic philosophers embodied. Rationality, logic. My bad, the wind almost knocked over the camera, but like I was saying, I'm not letting these emotions, the external stimuli, mess up my video, mess up my course, mess up the things, the messages I'm trying to get to. This is my mission for the time being. Relay a message to you guys. And the same thing, like we were saying before, they didn't let their emotions kind of just choose whatever path they were going to go on. Oh, I'm hungry, I have to go eat this and that. No, they fasted. Oh, I'm horny, I have to go release my seed. No, they practiced semen retention. Oh, I'm angry, I have to go cause a tantrum. No, they meditated upon that and figured out why they were angry. They went deeper within. That's all spirituality and philosophy is about. Going deeper within, because like I just said, if you uncover the layers, all the answers reside within. The cosmic database of all the information that you need resides within. Stoicism, semen retention, all these types of things are just gonna help you get to that point. We're gonna help you carve out that sculpture to the point where you get to the core. As another quote from a Greek philosopher, I'm not sure exactly who it is, it states that man is both the marble and the pickaxe. You are both the sculpture and the sculptor. But most people let their emotions be the sculptor that shifts and changes the sculpture in itself. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? The emotions become the pickaxe that start to sculpt that sculpture in however you're emotionally feeling for the time being. There's no direction, there's no vision. You might have wanted your life to look at a certain way. You have a vision of that sculpture, but the emotions hijack the pickaxe and you got something completely different. Imagine going to a barber shop and you're telling the guy, man, I'm trying to get a low taper, I'm trying to get a nice lineup on the sides and all that stuff, and he just fucking buzzes your hair off. You're like, what the fuck, bro? What? I didn't tell you to do any of that shit. But he hijacked the clippers, the pickaxe, and made the sculpture into whatever the fuck he wanted. You wouldn't want that. Your soul doesn't want that. Your soul was brought here for a reason. You gotta awaken that reason. You gotta awaken, like I've said before on this channel, your spiritual organs, your spiritual senses that will connect you to that divine guidance towards the right positions and path in life. Without that, your direction is you're lost, and all these societal programmings are going to be what's going to direct you in life. And it's all based off of emotions. Why do you think that TikTok and all these things hire the best psychologists in the world to get you hooked, to get you addicted? Why do you think McDonald's and all this fast food hires the best chemists, if you want to call it that, to make the most addictive substances that you keep craving? Because they understand that the human mind is very close still to the animalistic mind. And it's only through understanding, through understanding their own biological systems, through mastering their body, through mastering their mind, through spiritual knowledge, that they can ascend above that. Yet the majority of people in this world the main population is living within those animalistic states of mind. So their desires are easily manipulated by these people who do understand it. Why do you think you get so hooked onto scrolling on TikTok? Why do you think you get so hooked onto things like porn? Why do you think you get so hooked onto things like fast food? Because they're built off of your emotional traits, your emotional desires. Stoicism, semen retention, will naturally break those chains, bro. Will break them. Because you're learning how to go beyond it. It's no longer has a chokehold on you. You get that motherfucker off you and you put that shit in a chokehold. You make it tap out. You make it submit to you. You are now the one who is in charge. Like in Captain Phillips, when the pirates took over the ship. Look at me, I'm the captain now, motherfucker. I'm the captain now. That's what you got to do with your own vessel, man. It's been hijacked from other things, other external stimuli, from society, from conditional programmings and all that stuff, man. Through this art of self-mastery, you become the sculptor once again. You become the pickaxe once again. And you start to shape your life into the way that God preordained it to be. You become a divine vessel for God. You become congruent and yoked onto the path of righteousness. Things don't faze you no more. Your mind becomes bulletproof, man. Things that were so enticing to you before, you won't react to them. And it doesn't just pertain to sexual cravings and stuff like that when it comes to semen retention and stoicism. Things that might have pissed you off before don't piss you off. They might anger you, but you transmute that anger into something else. You transmute that anger towards higher states of consciousness. You become an alchemist because you're transmuting the most potent energy source through the practice of semen retention, through sexual transmutation. So everything else, like we said before, becomes easier. It becomes easier to transmutate anger. It becomes easier to transmutate jealousy. It becomes easier to transmutate sadness towards higher emotions. And now you're the one dictating that energy. You're the one putting that energy into motion. You're the one alchemizing that emotion. God fucking damn it, man. Are we out here spitting? Are we out here breaking down some deep level game, bro? You're the one that starts to take that energy, sublimate it, and transmute it, and put it into motion into whatever you want. You get to start creating emotions. You get to be the one who pushes the buttons. I want to be angry towards this workout. Much better, much more productive. I want to use that sadness towards kind of creating music, helping people out of their sadness. Much better way to do that. I'm shifting this horniness, this sexual drive towards masculine vigor and vitality to help me on my business, on my pursuits, on my career path. How sick is that, man? How sick is that? You're able to kind of tap into your own vessel like you would on a computer. You become a technician of the mind, of the body. You know, when your computer's all messed up and you don't know where to go, you go to a technician. When the human vessel and the human mind is going against you and is self-sabotaging you, you know where you go? You go to spiritual wisdom. You go to philosophy. You go to the self, the core. You peel off those layers and get right to the core. There's where you'll find the manual you need to fix everything. And when you're stoic, through the practice of semen retention, as you peel off each layer, you won't get stuck. Or you peeled off one layer, but the layer comes back in another form. Because you become unfazed, you become tunnel focused on the internal growth. Not the external distractions, but the internal growth. And as a man, this is crucial, this is vital to be successful in any area of life, to be truly successful. And what I mean by truly successful is by having that vision that only you have and bringing it out into reality. You can have $1 million, $1 trillion, billion, zillion fucking dollars. You can have the biggest houses, you can have the nicest cars, you can have the nicest clothes, you can have the hottest girlfriends. But if that's not your true vision in life, you're always gonna feel empty, you're always gonna feel unfulfilled within the spiritual aspect of your being, because this is what you were brought here to do. You can have all the material pleasures, but the soul won't truly feel fulfilled unless it's walking on the righteous path it was designed to walk on. And the only way it does that is by getting to the core, is by getting into those higher states of consciousness through a stoic state of mind, through the practice of semen retention. So for all you guys out there that are more emotional, more easily able to be manipulated by the external world, practice semen retention. Use this energy and use this force towards your advantage. Because if you can, quote unquote, conquer this path, everything else will be laid out for you. Everything else will be laid out for you. And I'm not exaggerating, man. I'm not exaggerating. If you know me, you know my channel, you know my content, I'm not the type of guy to gas anything up for no fucking reason. When I say something, I truly fucking believe it. Even when I first started this channel, the main channel, Fulati Fitness, I didn't talk about semen retention until I hit 1 full year of retaining. Because I wanted to see how this whole journey would affect me on all planes of reality. Like I've talked about before on this channel, short-term streaks versus long-term streaks, there's two completely different games. You will be on the more the materialistic and more physical and tangible benefits on the short-term streaks, but once you go long-term, that's when you tap into the stoic state of mind. That's when you tap into your spiritual senses. That's when you tap into these higher faculties. So I didn't speak a word about semen retention until I hit it 1 year and I understood, okay, this is what it really did for me after 1 full year. So when I'm saying that this will truly amplify and enhance your state of mind as a man, to be more stoic, to be more present, to be more focused on whatever that you want to focus on, I mean it. I mean it at the bottom of my heart. No cap in my rap, bro. No cap in my rap. I am not out here gassing. So please believe me, and if you don't believe me, I understand it. You got to experience this for yourself. So if you do want to experience this for yourself, go ahead on the main channel, Fulati Fitness, type in how to succeed on semen retention. Full video guide for you, and in that guide, you'll be able to access the Art of Retention ebook, a full ebook for free about how you can truly succeed on this practice. All the different disciplines that you need to put as a foundation in order to help you keep growing on this path, in order to help you keep building up the streak towards those higher faculties, towards those higher benefits that you get. And if you don't want to read it, don't worry, bro, because there is a full audio version, audio series within the main channel. Just go on the playlist section and you'll be able to see the Art of Retention ebook audio series. You can pop it in while you go on a hike, while you're out in the field, while you're out in the flesh, soaking up some game, man, and understanding how you can truly use this as a tool to accelerate your progress on all planes and all domains of life, the mental, the physical, and the spiritual. And if you need some more help after that, man, go ahead, either join up the private Patreon community, get into our monthly masterminds where we can discuss these things, apply for one-on-one coaching, or just hop onto a one-on-one consultation with me, man. I'm here to help accelerate your guys' path and help give you the game that I wish I got much earlier, to help accelerate and push me forward and progress on my path much quicker and much more seamlessly with way less effort and the pitfalls and downfalls and just distractions in my way. But at the end of the day, man, this is a personal journey that each and every single man must go on to truly understand and conceptualize the concepts that I'm breaking down within this video about how semen retention will naturally build up a stoic state of mind. You have to experience that, and you have to truly realize that within your own mind to be able to actually be like, oh man, he ain't lying. He is not lying. And for the guys out there that have experienced or a glimpse of this, please comment down below for the guys out there who haven't tapped into that yet, so they understand that this guy on the camera ain't just talking nonsense, but it's been able to be seen in other anecdotal pieces of people's lives. So all in all, man, if you like Stoicism, if you enjoy the Stoic philosophers, if you enjoy Greek mythology, if you enjoy that whole era and that school of thought, semen retention is a one-way ticket to open up the doors and open up the gates towards embodying what a true Stoic man is meant to be. You don't even have to fucking read the books, bro. It's great to read the books and get all these pieces of information, but if you just practice this, man, you are right. You're directly getting to the source. because you experience it firsthand for yourself. And this is the type of knowledge that can't be read in books, listened to in podcasts, etc., etc. It's the type of knowledge, aka gnosis, that can only be accessed from within, that can only be accessed from your own direct face-to-face experience with it. So I mean, I just dropped y'all all that game about how this path of semen retention will naturally make you stoic, gave y'all the information on how you can go and make this happen through the Art of Retention ebook, the audio series, the How to Succeed on Semen Retention Guide, all that good stuff. At the end of the day, you got all the tools and you got all the information you need for the time being to go out there and make it happen. To go out there and get it done. What's stopping you, man? The senses? Yeah, the senses are stopping you. Your old self is stopping you. The external stimuli is stopping you. Funny enough, if you practice semen retention, it slowly starts to dissolve. Even if it's a week, even if it's 2 weeks, even if it's 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Keep building up, bro. You're on a higher path. You were built for more if you're able to watch this type of video, watch this type of content for this duration. You ain't stumble on this for no reason, bro. God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, uses maybe my channel as a vessel, as an instrument to relay these messages to you guys. As a sign of synchronicity that, hey man, you're on the right path. Or hey man, you need to get on this path. I'm just here for the ride, bro. I'm just here for the ride. Drop you out at games so you guys can make some gains. But at the end of the day, this is all on you. And that's another thing the Stoic philosophy really embodies. Self-individuality and sovereignty. Even though the universe, the external world, will throw things at your way that you simply can't control, you as a man at the end of the day can control yourself. And that's all that really matters. The external stimuli of the environment that you're in is going to do whatever it wants. And the senses are going to perceive that and try to trick you into doing this and doing that and this and this. This is why within the environment that you probably live in right now in the modern day world, they try to put in these pieces of poison for you to self-sabotage yourself. No, the elite society, whatever you want to call it, don't directly force you to go watch porn or force you to deplete your life force energy or force you to eat junk food or force you to be addicted to your phone and social media, etc., etc. They don't force you to do these bad habits. They put like a little rat trap. They put a little piece of cheese, a little piece of dopamine that you don't even realize that when you go grab it, boom, you're gonna drain yourself of your holiness, if you want to call it that, your godliness. That's gonna make you deplete yourself and downgrade yourself towards the animalistic mind, which is easier to manipulate and control for a bigger agenda. But at the end of the day, you were the one who got tricked by that rat trap through your senses and decided to make the conscious decision to go and get it. Sometimes it's not even conscious, it's subconscious. That's why you got to reprogram your subconscious mind. That's why you got to go deep into your psychology and rewire it towards your advantage rather than to your demise. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to you taking those steps towards that piece of cheese under the rat trap and boom, fucking yourself over. That's what I mean by self-sabotage. No one's forcing you to do all this nonsense, man. No one is forcing you. It's just you've been tricked. You've been deceived. You've had a blindfold put over you. And you letting the senses, your smell, your touch, your taste, all that stuff direct your life because certain emotions are triggered from them. When you see explicit content, your eyes send signals to the back of your mind of what it is. It's not, your senses are not doing anything wrong. They're just telling you what it is. But it triggers a certain emotion because you have been hijacked to correlate this to that. And that's just your natural biology. But if you see it for the kind of mirage it is that society puts out in front of you, you transcend beyond that because you're stoic. Because you don't let those emotions dictate your actions. You're able to look beyond your emotions. You're able to look beyond your senses. You tap into the spiritual senses. You awaken the third eye. These two eyes are to look, well, you got one to see. And what I mean by see is see beyond. See beyond the veil. See beyond the matrix. See beyond the Maya. See beyond the illusion. That's when you start actually seeing the path that you're supposed to be on. everything starts to dissolve in front of you. You start to bend reality and bend this matrix to your will. Because at the end of the day, the only matrix that really you should be worrying about is the one up in here, up in the mind. The mind is the real matrix you should be worrying about. You conquer this matrix, the external matrix, will fall to its knees towards you, will bend to your will. That's what it means to bend reality, to manifest your visions into reality, to make your dreams into your day-to-day life. That's only done if you master this. If you master this matrix through being a stoic man, a stoic divine masculine man, through practices of semen retention, spirituality, and all the good stuff that we talk about here, psychology, all that jazz, man. So if you're picking up what the fuck I'm putting down, man, you understand that this path is not a joke. It's the real deal shit. And if you really want to feel what these, maybe your favorite philosophers were talking about or preaching about, go straight to the source. They were practicing semen retention. If you believe I'm wrong, man, go ahead and check out the videos on the main channel from the audio series of the Art of Retention ebook called The Ancient Teachings. There's 2 parts. And there's a couple quotes from Plato. There's a couple quotes from these Greek philosophers. There's a couple quotes from the book itself, the Art of Retention ebook, that talks about this stuff. Plato said even you can see this in the athletes who are strong, who are manly, who are stoic, because they were celibates. They knew this stuff, man. We're trying to revive the ancient wisdom, man. Revive those esoteric teachings, those occult pieces of wisdom, and plug them into our practical day-to-day lives. This type of information is evergreen. It will always last. It just has right now, at the time being, called Kali Yuga or Kali Yuga within the Vedic philosophy. Spirituality and all that type of information has been decreased in carnality, sensuality, and degeneracy has increased. For you men out there who follow this type of content, who are on this path, we got to be the ones to tip the scale and help transfer over this transition from the dark ages back on over to the golden age. It's not going to happen unless we actually take the steps towards doing it. And the only way that you can do it is not by fucking starting a revolution, but by first mastering yourself. Because like we said in the beginning of this video, the first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. That's the only thing you should be worried about. Master yourself. Because to be conquered by yourself is of all things the most shameful and vile. There it is, man. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains, and I'm out of here. Peace.